Well, today we're going to be making some Texas style spare ribs. And this is going to be the base for my fire and my coal beds. What I got right here is the coals from my leftover fire, which I scrape into this here basket that I bought at Walmart for like $3. I put the coal and the ash in there, and I get upwind from it in a bucket, and I shake it all out. I shake all my unburnt coals out and use them for my next coal bed. And then I have some greasy butcher paper left over from a Wagyu brisket I did on Christmas, or for Christmas dinner. It was actually on a Wednesday before Christmas. I didn't do a video on that though. I was hard pressed for time. Just got off of nights and didn't have time to do all that stuff. And then some mixed oak that I get from my wood supplier over here in Kirbyville, Texas. That is American Firewood. If anybody in this area wants to know about it, he hook you up with some good seasoned oak wood. They've got red oak, post oak, hickory, pecan, cherry, the specialty woods, and then the mixed oak, which is what I get, because you get a little bit of everything in there. But anyhow, we're gonna light this sucker up. Once that tallow gets started on that butcher paper, it turns into a freaking torch and it gets lit. It takes a minute to get it lit, but it will get lit and get going. Anyway, that'll all be lit here in a minute, and I'll bring y'all right back here in a minute when I get to season these ribs up. Alright, now that butcher paper is burnt up and our fire is somewhat started, and I notice a lot of people in videos use leaf blowers and stuff, but the leaf blower I got's way too big. It'll blow this crap everywhere. So I was on Amazon the other day, and found this little dude right here. You can just take this, huff and puff it, on the fire. Like that. Give you a little boost if you need it. Help that fire get started up. A little bit of work, but it ain't bad. And it was only like freaking 12 bucks. So if you're on a budget, you can use one of these things instead of a leaf blower. Anyway, our fire is up and going. It's gonna burn down real nice. I'll go get my pork ribs cut up and seasoned. Stay tuned. I also hit it with some Lowry seasoning salt to give it a little bit of color. Just a real light coat. I really like that combination. So that's salt, pepper, garlic powder, and a little bit of Lowry seasoned salt. That's how I season my spare style ribs, Texas style spare ribs. How I do them over here in East Texas. Alright, 45 minutes later, this is what we look like. I'm about to smash all these down from my coal bed. Get them all smashed down real good. That's another little, I should try not to burn my feet up here. That's another little gadget I bought off of Amazon to help you guys out. It's a fireplace tongs. Grab logs and put stuff on there. So I use that instead of burning my deadgum hands up. Smash down my fire, move logs on this little small smoker. Get all these coals smashed out real good, and that's a heck of a coal bed I got going right here. So at this point, that's burning down just a little bit more. I like to start out with a piece of wood that's heavy, which means it's still wet and got some thick bark on it. That way it produces some real good smoke. And I'll put that sucker on there just like that right there, and it'll catch here in a minute. Start producing that little bit of heavier smoke up front instead of real clean smoke. On a small smoker like this and on a short cook like ribs, you want to have just a little bit slightly dirty smoke. Not pluming white, but you'll see here in a minute. Close this door to about an inch open where I normally put it at. You'll see there's some slightly white smoke coming out of there. It's hard to see, the wind's blowing too hard, but once that gets going real good, we'll you can see we're running real hot right now, but that'll all come down. Just smash that coal bed down. But we'll bring you guys back in a minute. Alright, so now I got my ribs on, got my fire going, got all my little snacks on there from this rib trim. I don't like to waste nothing. I don't really save my rib trimmings for sausage because it takes a while to get a lot of them. I normally just cook them off, snack on them, feed them to the dogs. But she's on, and I'll keep y'all updated throughout the cook. I need to put some water in my water pan. I'll bring y'all back here in about probably 2.5 hours. Stay tuned. That's the smoke I was telling you guys about right there. It's a slightly white smoke, but it's not a dirty smoke. It's still clean. That's why I like my smoke in the beginning of the cook. Now that my barky log has caught fire, I went ahead and turned it sideways. Put me another one on there the other way. It'll catch here in a minute. Still producing me some real good smoke up there. It's gonna put some good flavor on this meat. And another pro tip for all you backyard barbecuers out there: keep the front of this sucker cleaned out, and your airflow will get in there. Throw your dead coals up on the sides. Throw your dead coals up on the sides, and keep your coal bed concentrated, your fire right there in the middle. And you won't have problems with having to replenish your coal bed or your logs not catching right away. But anyway, just wanted to share that fire tip with you if I hadn't done it already before. I'll bring y'all back later. Excuse my pit, it's dirty. Yep, rocking right at 300 degrees. Here's what we look like about 2.5 hours in. So I see my ends getting a little bit darker there. I'm gonna rotate this brisket. Pork ribs, I'm sorry. Rotate it like that. Let this thicker side catch some of that indirect heat for a little while. Then the next time I look at it, I'll flop it back around to the other side. But we're starting to get good color, and everything's looking good. Nothing's burning. Looks like some pork spare ribs. We'll bring you back after a little while. Stay tuned. Alright, we're rocking a little bit above 275. Let's take another look at these. That's about the 3-hour mark. Starting to get a little pulling right there, which means it's releasing moisture. Everything is looking good, getting darker. The way I like to do my ribs, people got 2-2-1, 3-2-1, 3 whatever. I normally go about mine about 275 to 300 unwrapped for about 4.5, maybe 5 hours, depending on how it feels, and I pick it up. Then I put it in tin full with a little bit of my barbecue sauce and finish it out. And once the bones pull back and it's feeling tender, I then put it back on the pit, dump that back over it, let that bark reset. That's how I like to do mine. But she's looking good. We'll keep you guys updated. Alright, here we are at our 4-hour mark. Looking real good. Won't be long, I'll be wrapping these. Start to see a little bit of bone pull back right there. It's looking good, coming along good. Stay tuned. Alright, so we're at the 5-hour mark. I like my color. I'm gonna go ahead and get her wrapped. I put it on that barbecue sauce right there. Flip it meat side down, just like that. Then I come back, some more barbecue sauce, which is homemade. I would leave not a whole lot, you don't want a lot. I would leave the link in the comments, but I don't ever write it down when I put it in there. I just make it by taste, and I'll post the barbecue sauce on your fingers are good. I'll post the base to the recipe, but I always tweak it differently when I want sweeter or vinegar or whatever. This is what I do. My pork spare ribs. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these wrapped up and get them put back on the pit. Next time you'll see them is when I'll slice them. Alright, I just took the ribs out of the fold. They're looking real good. I poured the juices back over them. I'm gonna let this bark reset. Then I also heating up some of my brisket sausages that I made the other day on here. So by the time all that gets through cooking, and I'll be about ready. Probably about 30 more minutes is all this has got left. Stay tuned. Alright, so now we're getting these Texas style spare ribs sliced up, and I kind of botched that right there. Damn bones. Anyway, it'll get sliced up here in just a second. Lost them spare ribs can always be a kind of a pain in the butt, especially the whole spares. You got to cut through that cartilage. Let's see what it looks like. Nice smoke ring, juicy rib. Let's take a bite. Oh yeah, perfect, clean bite. That's it, folks.